Oh, do you? I mean, obviously, you're known for Sanctuary, and that's kind of between that and the Skittle monster motif.
Yeah,
those
the
are
loudness of the garb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you do that maybe people aren't so readily knowledge? No, they don't realize that you do or take part in.
So, actively, like in activities and things of that nature, sadly, I'm not super active just because of my work constraints. But
We've all been there.
oh,
I
yeah.
feel for you.
I do a lot of flat braiding for the barony. So
Okay.
I do a lot of
Of
these.
Yeah. Okay.
I've done a fair amount of weaving, so I actually made this trim.
Oh, okay.
So fiber arts are kind of my artistic thing. I really like to do the braiding and things of that nature, but I've gotten a little bit away from my ankle loom, and I like to do things that will still allow me to move around.
Yeah.
So there is a distinct possibility you'll find me at an event also braiding something while I'm wandering around. Of course, that's also that nervous tick. So
if anyone sees the Skittle monster walking around nervously braiding something,
yeah, you can still come. You can still come to me.
Yeah. Do you? And to be clear, I'm not even hinting that you don't want to do Sanctuary indefinitely, but do you see a point in the future where maybe someone else takes point on Sanctuary and you maybe go do something else? Is that a concept in your brain, or are you just not thinking that far ahead?
It is a concept in my brain, only because Odd wants me to pass it on at some point. He wants me to graduate it to somebody else. But it has become my passion project. And I don't really foresee myself fully giving it away.
Okay.
But pursuing other avenues of service, I can definitely see myself doing. I'm just not entirely sure what yet, or what's actually within my realm of ability.
You've done the extremely unique thing. I mean, let's be fair. 95% of the SCA finds an existing niche. You carved one out with a chisel and mallet. You found a crack, and rather than try and cover it up, you carved out a spot and made it yours. But that's like I've said, that's a wonderful thing, and it has been a true blessing having the resource of Sanctuary and having you at the helm. But the flip side is, when you carve your own path, when you finally decide to do something else, you are back to square one, because there's no internal tradition of, well, I talk to these people or I do this. No, you're back to, it's my first day in the SCA. What do I do?
Exactly.
So I can definitely see that it'll be an interesting episode for you. And I'm not saying interesting is any negative connotation, but I think you are a unique entity, so you're in for a unique adventure.
Oh, yeah.
But in the short term, or in even the midterm, you still see yourself helming Sanctuary and also advocating for just people in general.
Yes.
Mental health and representation and advocacy and so forth. Those
Absolutely.
are all intrinsic to who you are.
Yes, they are. I do see, some of Sanctuary's properties growing, being able to provide better services over time, possibly carving out some of the ones that don't work, obviously, but it's a constant evolution as to what we can provide, what works, what doesn't work. Every event poses its own set of difficulties and its own set of people. So just continuing.
And sometimes those people are the difficulties. Let's be fair.
Yes.
Yeah. If I'm going to give you the floor for something, because I do have a fairly diverse listenership. If there was any person or officer that you want to reach out to and engage for something related to Sanctuary or mental health in the SCA or whatever, who are some of those people, and what would you want them to hear from you? What type of message would you have for leadership or officership or royalty or nobility, or whoever?
I would say more, not necessarily reaching out to any one particular
Mm-hmm.
officer or anything of that nature, but as all of us are leadership,
Mm-hmm.
Being more aware that although we are a very outgoing group, not everybody is as outgoing as you think everybody is. Take a step back and really scrutinize what you're looking at. Because we've all been to enough events where we know, yes, you've got those folks who really like to party, and then you've got those folks who really just want to sit down and chitter-chatter and laugh and have a wonderful time. I'm not dogging any of that.
Mm-hmm.
My daily life goal is to make one person and myself full-on belly laugh every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only goal every day. But think about how that affects the other people around. Loud gets loud very, very quickly. Loud is not just noise, it is pressure.
Yeah.
It affects the body. It affects the mind.
To circle back around, the question that I really have for you here is, if you had something that you wanted to say to the leadership, or whether that's social leadership, officer leadership, nobility, or royalty within the SCA, regarding your experiences, your work with Sanctuary, what would you want them to hear from you? What would you want them to take away from this overarching conversation we're having?
Probably one of the simplest answers that I could give is familiarize yourself with DEI.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people don't take it very seriously, especially in this neck of the woods, but it's extremely important to familiarize yourself with DEI, what the mission is, and just making sure that we're being fair to everybody, that we are being accepting to everybody, that we're being welcoming to everybody. Nobody is a victim and nobody is a assailant when you're coming into the SCA. We're all fresh. So just pay attention to the people that are around you and familiarize yourself with DEI.
And I want to dovetail this into the conversation I had with Castiana, because, of course, Castiana was the Kingdom DEIB officer.
Mm-hmm.
One of the remarkable things that we got from Castiana's tenure was their conversation about officer retention. I don't think we covered any of the political buzzwords in that talk. It was fatigue, it was burnout, it was time management, it was, a lot of just really good sound business management principles. And realistically, that should not be the domain of the DEI officer. That should be the domain, in our case, of the Kingdom Herald's office. 43 years later, and who's the first person to talk about it is DEIB.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to footnote, building on her comment, it's very easy, especially in today's political climate, the modern political climate, to hear DEI or SCA's DEIB and immediately go to the hot button social topics of the day, which is not unfair.
Right.
DEIB and DEI were born from those topics.
Yes.
But I can say from empirical experience that DEI is much more about universal conversations of mental health, communication, personality, self-care,
Yes.
And those are true for everyone. There's no one in the SCA who's not going to benefit from that conversation.
Absolutely.
And for those who say that they won't, those are usually the ones who need it the most, and I'll stand by that.
This is very true.
thank you so much. I'm always glad to have someone come in and contribute to the conversation. There are very few people who I really feel like their experience is so outside of my envelope that I'm going to learn something. Like I've helped lead in with kids so many times, and I've, Castiana and I have been shoulder to shoulder in heraldry stuff, and I've always enjoyed talking with them about their educational work. And I'm a craftsman at art, so Marcus not getting a chance to talk was, kindred spirits. Your experience is just really alien to me. I don't have the depth of knowledge. I don't have the experience of helping people with sanctuary. I'm the guy you send in when you want things to get loud and violent.
Yes, this is true.
So to have you come in, this has been a wonderful experience for me to learn more about sanctuary, and I knew it was beneficial. Now I get to see the inner workings. Like, this is fascinating. But also, I think it adds to the conversation. This is a wonderful conversation that I want my larger audience to share in. Thank you so much. It has been an absolute, come over here. It's been an absolute pleasure. God bless you. And thank everyone else for coming in and enjoying this series of videos. If you have any questions about Sanctuary, the Sanctuary Project, you can reach out on the channel. Would you like us to include your email address in the show notes?
Yes.
I look in the show notes. We'll absolutely have a way to reach out and contact Sanctuary, and you can ask them all the questions that I didn't think of.
Absolutely.
And also, for the show note, or for the comment section, do you guys have anything like this where you are? I know we've all, like, the tradition has always been, you go run back to a friend's camp and just put your feet up in their chair or whatever. Yeah. But this is, with a lot of SCA groups not doing camping, this is a different dynamic. So, what do you guys have? What do you see in your area that may or may not fill this niche that I didn't even know was a thing up until relatively recently? But until then, I look forward to hearing from all of you. I will see you at the next event. Until then, goodbye, and God bless. If there are two things I've learned that drive videos these days, it's controversy and engagement. Now, I am never going to fly the controversy flag on a regular basis. It's not what I'm here for. It's not the content I want to make, and I really don't think it helps any of us. But let's do engagement. If you like this video, please go down in the comments and leave a comment. Make sure to share the video. And last but not least, easiest of all, make sure to like the video. That helps drive the algorithm. It helps get the video views and helps promote this material. Thank you very much.